What up?
Okay.
Welcome to the the Sisters of Stardust, our D&D campaign we do live here on TikTok. Um, I'm Zach, the Dungeon Master. Boom. And this is my awesome sister. I will let her introduce herself and her character.
Hi, I'm Amanda, aka Deidra Shimmerstone, and I play a storm sorcerer with the halfling mark of healing.
Yes. And just so everyone knows, we do the sidekick rules with this, so Amanda controls a bunch of side characters as well when we're like in combat and things. I'll still normally do like their dialogue and stuff for them, even though they're all girls and I have a man voice. But yes, that is how we do it. Last time we actually had Deidra chasing a inquisitor who was after her mom and aunt. And so they attacked this inquisitor, and he had teleported to this man named the Scribe after he died, who is a warlock that basically when somebody dies whose name is in his book, they get resurrected right next to him. So he ended up being over there, and Deidra has her name in his book as well. So she put together what had happened and teleported to this warlock's lair. And once she got to this warlock's lair, she was like, "Hey, where'd the guy go?" And he's like, "He's already gone." And he said he was going to go meet a guy named Vanth, and Vanth is Deidra's father. She just recently figured this out. Vanth didn't even know really if she was his daughter, but had a hunch that they could have been. But this Inquisitor Ezra had mentioned that he was that his mentor was Vanth when Deidra was doing some sabotage. So they end up poofing over to this to the ship that Vanth owns, and Deidra goes alone and leaves her sisters at a monastery nearby to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna like talk to everyone. We'll figure this out." So she went and she talked to these to her father's crew, and they basically were like, "Hey, he'll meet you later on. He doesn't want to meet with you right now." And she was like, "Tell him I know that Ezra's here and that I want to negotiate with Ezra, and I'm not here to like attack him or anything." And so she goes in. Um, that ends up getting her an audience, and her and Ezra end up negotiating and coming up with a plan to get both of their names kind of expunged from these royals, or I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but basically get their situations figured out. So they decided they were going to fake the deaths of her aunt and mother, and then get these children that Ezra is in charge of, or his family, as he puts it. He was a what's the word? An orphan with other orphan family, you know. But he wanted to get them to safety. So what it ended up happening is they hatched this plan to grow bodies. So they go to their friend Harold, the skeleton wizard, and who is trying to grow his own body, and they get the materials to grow a body and grow um, decide to grow her aunt and mom. They get all the components that they needed to, went on a little shopping trip, ran into a stone lady that they needed to find who gave them really rare diamonds. And they grew these bodies for 4 months. After this 4-month period, Ezra had killed a Cyclops during this 4-month period on his downtime and got paid a huge bounty for that. They ended up going to a place called Goodfell, because they didn't want to teleport straight to Cormyr, where the embassy was. So they go to Goodfell, walk to Cormyr. Everything starts to get bigger because it's suddenly not a halfling country anymore. And they go into this embassy. They go and they talk to the ambassador there, and they unfortunately had to break the news to him that his sons had died chasing after these ladies. But they had the ladies' bodies too, and Ezra had taken care of that. So Ezra ended up getting paid a large sum for taking out these ladies. And then they went back to the apartment, and Deidra was like, hey, I'm taking the boys. You figure out what you need to figure out here. So they ended up leaving with these children and bringing them to Vanth to learn how to be crew. And yeah, that's where we left off. Also, Deidra decided she wanted to grow took a piece of Ezra's skin so that she could grow a fake body for him as well. So they are in the process of making a fake body for Ezra at this point as well. So, yeah, a lot happened.
A lot did happen. That's fun.
I'm going to say you have a little bit of downtime. What would you be doing for... Basically, right after you drop off these boys and start growing a body, what would Deidra be doing?
Probably working, like always.
Yeah. Are you going to
we grow Ezra's body.
Mm-hmm. How often are you going to be checking in? Because the body is going to be in Stormhome, the port. So it's like, how often do you think you're going to be checking in on the body growing process?
Probably like once a week.
Once a week? I got you. Okay. Ooh. So go ahead and roll a performance roll for me for your downtime.
You have to do that.
Oh, I got a roll for you today. Oh, boom.
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, boom. 5.
Good job.
What was your performance modifier?
+3.
+3, fine. Okay, so we're gonna say you make one. You're gonna make 1 copper a day, and I'm gonna say it's going to be about 3 weeks that you've had before this event that I have happens. So you're gonna have 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 copper added to your stuff.
Okay.
And what ends up happening is you start to get a telepathic message after 3 weeks of waiting. And it is a high voice. It's like, I have one of your friends here. He said your name was on my list and I had to call you because he apparently you guys, he messed up.
Okay. Can I talk back?
Yeah.
Where are you?
He's like, I'm at my it's the Scribe.
It's the Scribe.
I'm at my place with my books.
Okay. I'll meet you there.
He's like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Your friend's here.
Okay.
Like
Okay. Is it safe to say that my mom and aunt are back?
I'll leave that up to you. They were still gone. But if you talked to them and said, hey, I think we're good for now, that's fine.
You guys can come home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to say that I said that and they came back.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jeanette with me.
You got it.
And we'll go over there.
Okay. You teleport to the labyrinth, as he's named his little lair, which is actually just a shack inside of what's it called? A cave. But you go down there and you see the gnome and his floating book. And then there is also an Ezra chilling off on the side.
Ezra, what did you do?
He's like, hey, he's like, I didn't, like, I gotta do his voice right. Let me figure this out. Gotta channel my inner Ezra. He's like, I'm not sure. I think I made a miscalculation with what happened with those bodies, I assumed they wouldn't have any memories, and I think they probably had memories. Because, well, I woke up to people attacking me. It seems like that happens to me a lot lately.
Huh.
And I got teleported here, as you can tell.
Alright.
He's like, normally in the investigations that these folk do, they will check on the memories that the body has. They can't necessarily communicate with the spirit, but if a body has memories, they can check on the memories. And it must have, the bodies must have grown with the memories of your aunt and mother. So I think they just put together that they didn't just get killed by me shooting them, as we had told them. So.
Okay, well, I'm sure that these people are keeping tabs on you.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you could stay away from Helena.
He's like,
we'll...
I know that they can't keep tabs on me if I'm on a different plane of existence. So, he like turns to the scribe and he's like, is there any way you can teleport me somewhere safe that isn't on this plane of existence? And the scribe's like, I don't know if, I can communicate with other planes, but I can't really, yeah, I'm very powerful, and I could teleport you somewhere, I just don't have a safe residence, necessarily in another dimension. While they're having this conversation, he turns to you and he's like, and even if I stay away from Helena, if they're looking through the memories of your aunt and mother, then they probably have an idea of where it would be.
Okay. Well, I'll have to go warn them. I do have a portal to another dimension.
He's like, you have a portal to another dimension?
Yeah, in my basement.
He like really does start laughing. He's like, okay, then is it safe?
Somewhat.
He's like, okay, well,
I'm pretty sure you can handle yourself.
He's like, all right, well, if you have somewhere I can stay that's in another dimension, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Or another, yeah, you get what I mean. Dimensional space.
Well, let's hurry.
He's like, yes.
Who knows how long it will be.
He's like, will you make sure that Vanth and the boys are okay for me?
Of course I will.
Like, okay. He's like, he's like, let's go. So you grab your things and go onto the teleportation circle. And he just follows you to wherever you want to take him.
So we teleport to my house.
Okay.
Where my mom and aunt are. And we talk to my mom and aunt about what's going on.
Okay.
We just say, we need him and probably you guys in another dimension so that they can't find you guys.
And they're, after some, like, talking, like, they have some hesitation about just going into this place, but,
I mean, they don't have to go into the basement one. Can't my mom travel into other dimensions?
So she uses, like, basically a astral project spell. That's, like, one of her main spells she uses. She probably could, like, do fine in the astral plane, but I gotta check some stuff. She's really powerful, so she probably could, but I want to make sure I know what she can do. Boom, boom, boom. Where are you? Oh no.
Christmas,
No.
why can't I
Not
find you?
It's not Christmas yet, Amanda. We can't be doing that. Oh no.
I can do whatever I damn well please, thank you.
I've lost the... Maybe I have it in another thing. I thought I had your mom and aunt's stuff in like a certain folder, but it's not in there, so I'm looking other places now. Yeah, I'll say your mom knows how to teleport certain places. Sorry, I had to restart my computer because it's being weird. But just off the top of my head, I think your mom would be able to.
Okay.
Do you want to escort Ezra to this place?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Ezra goes down into the basement to the dark stone place, and May is still down there with his like little research table doing his own thing. He's like, how do you open this portal?
I thought it was open already.
So it's not just open, like it closes.
What was the lady's name again?
Oh goodness. Why am I forgetting? Of course my computer is off right now. Her name is... Oh gosh, come to me. Goodness, I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just gonna say whatever her name is. Hey, can you open this portal? I have people who need refuge in another dimension.
What when you like say that, you hear like some ching ching ching, and a basically black hole opens in front of the dark stone.
Sweet.
And if you walk through, it's like it's the same layout it was when you first went in there.
Okay.
And there's like the cabin with the orange light but there's no light anywhere else. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of my computer right now. But yes, you go down there and she's already like kind of waiting at the door. Like she's opened it with her hands all crumpled up together. She's like, She's like, you've brought me guests.
Yeah, would you like some company for a while? While we figure out this dilemma?
She's all, oh, I sure could use some company. Ezra's just kind of like looking around at all of her stuff in her cabin and looking at her. He's like, okay. He's like, he's all, pleasure to meet you. I'm Ezra. He's like, oh. You didn't tell me you were bringing a man. I would have prepared myself. She like walks off a little bit. She's just being silly, but and he's all, okay.
Okay.
That's fine. She's like, want to see my mortal and pestle, young boy? And he's just like, sure. And basically she's just showing him around and saying like, if you need to play, she does have like, she basically can just make other rooms appear in this house, or like grow rather. And she makes like a room for him and kind of asks him what he likes to have in his room and puts the room together. She's like, should you need anything from me, darling, you tell me.
Cool.
Before you leave, he's like, so you just have like some crazy witch who literally grants wishes in your basement?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm so bad at accents today, or doing his voice. So, well, that's handy. Let me know how it goes out there. If you need me, I'll be here. If you need my guns.
Okay. We will have Tulane send a message if we need anything from you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So I leave.
Okay.
I'm assuming that these people are gonna try to find Helena, or
So when you leave, you're not really sure. You don't have like a lot of like information on who these people like. What am I trying to say? Like, you don't get the immediate. Oh gosh, how am I trying to say this? Sorry, I'm like struggling with my computer on top of telling this story. When you get out, you do have like this immediate sense of like, oh, I should get ready, make sure things are okay. But there's not necessarily anyone coming to Helena right now.
okay. I think I should go to
Stormhome?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Stormhome, and there is you go down to your father's ship, and there's kind of like so there's been like some extra guards posted at another ship, a couple whatevers, stalls down. I don't know what you call a parking spot for the ship. Dock space? I don't know. A couple dock spaces down. And these guards have kind of like, they've kind of stuck to their own area, but now they're like kind of branching out and going out to your, like, they're being evasive or invasive. They're just kind of up in your dad's ship's business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yes, there are guards there now.
Okay. So I'm gonna go on to Vanth's ship.
Okay.
Vanth.
You walk up and there's Vanth is in his normal quarters, and so is Ann Cotter. What's his name? Harold. I use the same voice for them, and they're both wizards. It's a problem. But yes, Harold's up in there. Harold's up in there.
Okay. So I basically tell him what's going on. Like, Ezra got attacked.
Mm-hmm.
He's safe for right now. But we need to figure out a solution for this problem. We need to figure out what's going on.
He's like,
and I have a feeling that they're going to be coming to you, since you were probably in the body's memories.
He's like, okay. He's like, his like immediate reaction is to like set sail. He tells you, he's like, well, I want to be out on the sea if anything is going to happen. He's like, my crew will be the fastest crew on a ship, so we can outrun any ships around, really. And if it gets too bad, like he says, I can control, like, I know spells to control the weather, and I'm like gifted with the ability to like not have it affect me as much as everybody else. But we can, I would prefer to be out there if they're like coming to look for us. And then we'll be fine because we can just be like, oh, we're doing our normal jobs. We're just picking up more jobs lately. Or if you want us to stay here and stay ported, if they do run into us, we probably could be more, what's the word? We could probably talk our way out of the situation rather than just being bombarded by another ship. Or, I'm assuming could be another ship that the Royals have. He's like, we have had a couple of, not run-ins, but, we've had minor annoyances with the ship a couple stalls down. We do know it is a noble make ship, but we don't know what nobles are on there, who's in charge of it, but they have been being nosy and trying to basically talk their way onto our ship with their guards, but they're kind of terrible at it. He's all... But yeah, we could stay here and try and talk our way through things, be a little diplomatic about it, or if you're more interested, we could just solve this the old-fashioned way at sea.
If we do that, are there going to be more royals after us?
He's like, yeah, but how many times do you need to sink a couple ships until they give up on trying to, He's like, I used to be in the political system and I was the master of ships. I wouldn't keep wasting my money, frankly, if ships kept sinking.
Fair enough. Alright. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Really? He's all, okay. And he goes out onto the ship and starts barking orders to everybody and telling them to get prepared to sail, basically. If you look outside, you do see that a bunch of his men start getting a bunch of supplies from off the loading dock and bringing it back up to the top. But yeah, basically they get a bunch of supplies onto the ship, they load it up, and they set sail.
Sweet.
Boom. And you're going with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 3 boys are on the ship as well, whose names I can't look up right now because my computer isn't working. Great. I don't know what happened here.
Okay. Can I say I still have Jeanette with me?
Yeah. I assume Jeanette was like your person with you this section, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm like, I feel like I had one of them with me, I just...
Yeah. Boom, boom. Ooh, this computer. I'm sorry. But yeah, you have Jeanette with you. They do, so let's have you roll for how these, basically how the travel is going on these ships here, or I guess I'll roll for you. Boom, boom. But I'm just gonna roll a d8. Basically, at the higher the number is going to go, what am I saying? Sorry, this thing's trying to restart. So, the higher I'm just gonna roll a d6 to figure out what happens. Okay, you guys are sailing you guys have been out about 2.5 days, I would say. And it's been clear skies for the most part. But you do see another ship out in the distance that is quite a bit bigger than the ship that you're on. Vanth does have a really nice and big ship, but it's more built for movement than like having an actual like fight in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, he but there is another ship out there. And it does seem like it's on your tail. Like, not your tail, but it is coming your way.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm just gonna ask Vanth if he's like worried about it.
If you talk to him, he's like basically he explains that it is like a government ship or a kingdom's ship. He's like, if we he's like, we could deal with it in a couple of ways, but basically he's like if they get close and they seem like they're trying to get us to stop it or trying to engage us, we could do something to them.
Okay. Maybe we should hear what they have to say, and then if things go sideways, we'll take it into our own hands, I guess.
He's like, okay. He's like, what I'll do is I'll have all my men use their gust, their air magic to push the ship, and I will call a storm and make it bad enough to where they probably won't be able to make it out.
Okay.
He's like, also, he's like, I can protect us from like actual weather around us. The waves will get choppy and crazy, probably, but it won't be as bad for us as it will be for them. But if we want to actually talk to them and let them board, we could. That's one thing. But I was thinking we could just check to see if they're raising flags to tell us to basically surrender or anything, if they're going to try and engage us. But if they're going to try and just talk to us, we can do whatever you... He's like, I'm leaving the ball in your court. I'll do what you want. If you want me to try and negotiate with them, I can. But...
Okay, let's see what we have. Let's see what happens.
He's like, yes. So, they basically intentionally anchor where they're at, and this other ship comes up, and it pulls near to you guys, and Vanth is kind of like up at the front of the ship because it is his ship, but he has a guy yelling from the crow's nest what's going on, and he basically tells him to yell over. Basically, they're just going to let him board. So they get some planks out and put them between the ships after they anchor next to them. And you see a halfling that it looks like he has that same trench coat that Ezra wears on.
Mm-hmm.
He walks across. This guy's a little older than Ezra, I would say. Dark hair as well, but more put together, if that makes sense. Ezra lets his hair fall in front of him, and it's a little less unkempt. This guy has his hair pulled all the way back, looking nice. And he goes, He walks over. He's like, Captain Vanth, your reputation precedes you. And Vanth is like, yes, to what do I owe the pleasure? He's like, I saw that it was a kingdom ship. Figured I'd let you guys come talk to me, or you needed some advice with something. And he kind of chuckles to himself, he just is very confident in how he did his job. And the man's like, he pulls back to himself. He's like, He's like, we've been following some fugitives for some time. I believe you know of the Shimmerstone Sisters. And he's all, of course. He's like, of course I do. We were very acquainted. I mean, we work together in the kingdoms. The guy's like, yes. He's like, I'm Darwin, by the way. And he puts like his hand out to shake Captain Vanth, and they shake. And he's like, Darwin. He's like, are you a captain? He's like, oh no. He's like, I'm just an employer of the men of this ship, rather. But, as you know, we're after the Shimstone sisters. We apprehended some bodies from somebody who used to actually work for you, we know. He said they'd been killed. Turns out I don't think that's exactly what happened. We did find memories of them cutting pieces of their skin off and sending them off. Well, they planned to send them off, and that was the last memory they had, which leads us to believe that those aren't actually them. So we're just checking in on some of the memories we found in these bodies. You came up, and Vanth is like I said, I was very well acquainted with the sisters. And there's kind of more of a hushed tone. He's like, yes. We just didn't understand how acquainted you were with the sisters. Are you next to him, Deidra?
I'd say I'm like in the background with the crew.
Okay. As he says this, he's like, as he says, like, he didn't understand how acquainted you were, he glances over to you, unless you're trying to hide.
I'll say I'm trying to hide, like, blend in and...
Okay. I'm going to roll... We can either do, like, a performance check for you to be just, like, a part of the crew, or an actual, like, stealth check for you to be kind of in the, like, actually hiding, like, in a certain space in the ship.
Yeah, let's do performance.
Okay. 15?
Plus 3. So okay. 18.
18. I would say, as he says this, you would, if you were, like, if you were seeing, you get the way he, like, scans the crew really quick, you get the idea that he knows about you, essentially.
Okay.
And if you were there, he would definitely be laying it on pretty thick.
Yeah.
He's like, from my understanding, you have a relatively new acquaintance that I'd be interested in meeting. And Vanth kind of stops. He's like, yes, an acquaintance that I did not know about until very recently, and that I have little to no contact with. He's like, that's the other thing. I've been having my men monitor the docks for quite some time, and they have told me of a woman coming here at least once a week for the past couple months. And Vanth is like, well, I do need entertainment from time to time. Natural 20 on a deception check for Vanth there. He's like, and the Inquisitor pulls back. He's like, I was under the impression they were here on business. He's like, depends on your definition of business, boy. He's like, let me break this down for you. I do have a recently discovered daughter who is a Shimstone. Have I met with her often? No. Do I know of her? Yes. he's like, and he pulls back. He's like, but I also know that Vanth came to me after being attacked by these sisters.
Ezra.
Or Ezra, sorry. He's Vanth. Silly me. He's like, Ezra came to me after being attacked by these sisters. He did leave after the pat. He stayed with me for a month or two and then left. He was pursuing those sisters. He was trying to kill those sisters. He's like, and I stayed out of it. So he's like, after saying this, he's basically like, so if you've come to harass me about whether I'm harboring some type of fugitive or siding with any of these people, I'm not. I'm in it for the gold. I've always been into shipping for the gold. And then he's like, so, are we done here? And the Inquisitor is basically like, yes, I guess we're done here. He's like, one more question. Have you ever been to the town of Helena? And Vanth looks over and he's like, I have not. He's all. He's like, Vanth, your reputation precedes you. He walks off the ship. And they pull the planks, and basically, they stay anchored until, Vanth is staying anchored until they decide to leave, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, this man sails off with this government ship.
I think we should cause a storm.
Vanth saw, and that's the thing Vanth asked. He's like, should we sink them?
I think we should.
And he's like, I basically just cleared my name with them. Are you sure we don't want to just keep tabs on them?
I guess.
Wait, so what do you
tabs.
mean?
I guess we can keep tabs on them.
He's all...
for now.
He's basically like, because I do have a teleportation circle here, and we can teleport to Helena. But... he basically is like... He's like, I know if they go investigating there, they're not going to find anything as of right now. Because everyone's hiding. What other leads do you think these people are going to have from your mother's memories, for one? And he's like kind of getting stressed out. He's like, and how are we going to convince them that they're not there anymore?
Do you know where this device is? What is it called? The one that takes the memories?
Oh, the sector?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I thought they took it from your mother and aunt, but apparently they hid it. That's what Ezra was telling me, anyway. Might you ask your mother?
I might. Ezra spoke of a type of sorcery that could implant memories into my brain.
Okay.
That might be our best option. And I can implant a memory of Ezra killing them. And then me finding out that Ezra killed them, and then me killing Ezra.
When do you want to do this?
As soon as possible.
Because if they are going to do the things that they've done, how am I saying this? We'll have to let Ezra's body grow the rest of the way, and then we'll have to implant those memories into Ezra and take the other memories out, and then let somehow have Ezra run wild and get killed by these people?
Get killed by me.
Really? And then are you going to take him there?
Yeah.
Or maybe, since I just cleared my name, I could take Ezra's body back.
And we can put the memories into you.
Yes, that's true. Apparently they only check the dead bodies, though, so we'd only have to have Ezra's dead body.
And put the memories into Ezra. Okay. Into his body. We only have 2 months left of growing his body, so I just want to make sure that Helena is safe.
Yes. He's like, I would suggest we take everything we can out of that house. And if we need to move, I don't know what you have there. I'm sure there's things of immense power, but...
Well, the Darkstone is buried. You can't see it.
Okay.
Remember we dug that hole?
Yeah. There's the hole in the basement.
So, you can't see the Darkstone in my basement. It's there. I don't know if they would be able to find it. But anything there, we should...
Yeah. He's like, I have a couple of different estates and places we could bring the things to. Or maybe your mother and aunts already have places for them.
I can find out.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go back to Helena. You can stay out, you can work. I'll head back to Helena and get this figured out and come back with a solution.
Okay. So you teleport to Helena.
Okay. So I'm gonna have Tulane, I'm gonna go into the other dimension.
Okay. You go to the portal.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go talk to...
Uh-oh. Who are you gonna talk to?
I'm gonna go back to Ezra and tell him the plan.
Okay.
Is my mom and aunt there too?
Your mom and aunt went to a separate place.
Okay. Can I say that Jeanette gave them some hair? Her tuft of hair. Before they left, because I knew I could talk to Ezra.
Yeah, so Tulane would be able to send them a message, but if they're on a different plane of existence, Tulane can't talk to him, and what's-her-name wouldn't be able to talk to him either. Tulane and Jeanette.
I thought Tulane could send them a message if they were on a different plane of existence.
No, so she can send them a message if they're like a certain like if they're far away on the same plane of existence, like anywhere. But if they're on a different plane, like that makes it harder.
Is there anything I can use to send them a message?
You could talk to the witch, whose name I keep forgetting.
Okay, so I'll ask her while I'm there. Just say, is there any way that we can get a message to someone in a different plane of existence?
She's like, She's like, I can send a message to people in other planes. She's like, I would just need to know what plane. I'm gonna have you do a history check.
Okay.
15. Oh, shit.
Plus 3, so 18.
Okay. You would know with an 18 that your mom likes to go to the ethereal plane, and that the plane where that tree was from the second episode where you got your wand,
yeah,
is also on another plane of existence. You're not sure what that one is, but your mom's got the ethereal plane one down. You could probably figure out what it is. I just need to look things up for it, and this is being annoying.
Okay. Okay, so I tell her to try the ethereal plane.
Okay. So she does like a spell and like goes into the ethereal plane, or and sends a message through the ethereal plane. And you actually get a message back, or she starts to get she confirms that the message got sent, basically. So
okay. So basically I told her what the plan was, and then to send me a list of anything in the house that I should be aware of to hide.
Okay. List of things to hide in the house. List of things she wants you to grab. Your aunt wants you to grab her whole chest in the front of her bed. Your mom wants you to grab 3 specific books. No, 4 or 5. It basically looks like she only wanted you to do 3 initially, and then she kept adding more. So there's like a bunch of books she wants you to grab out of the house. And then she also wants you to she tells you to go into the attic of the house and grab basically like 5 candle sets. There's apparently 5 sets of candles in there. And then she wants you to also grab, oh goodness, what's this thing called? Let me look at something real quick. Whoa. I'm grabbing my drinks too. Thank goodness that one of the only books I have handy is my Dungeon Master's Guide, right? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. There is also a jewelry box that she wants you to grab. It's basically hidden behind a couple books in her study.
Okay.
And then she also wants you to grab 3 what are those things called? Scroll. Basically, she has 3 scroll holders as well that she wants you to grab. So,
okay.
Just to go over the list again. Your aunt wants you to grab a chest at the end of her bed. Your mom wants you to grab 8 books, a jewelry box, and 3 scroll holders.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you roll an
5 sets of
insight check as
candles.
well. Wait, sorry, what was that?
5 sets of candles.
Oh, yes, and 5 sets of candles in the attic.
Okay.
What's your insight?
0.
0, okay. You grab everything. Everything seems legit.
Okay.
As legit as it can be in that scenario, you know what I mean?
Okay. So I talked to... So I'm gonna say, like, I set up with Vanth where I'm taking this stuff to, like, one of his estates or whatever.
Yeah, so...
Since his name is clear, I feel like he's safe.
Yes, Vanth is fine. He has a... So he tells you that he has a marble mansion in the Port of Queens. In Queens. If that's where you guys would be cool setting up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So he uses his teleportation circle to take you there. Basically has his first mate take care of like the ship while it's going. But he teleports you there and like shows you around. Basically you walk into this town is a very first off, it's in like a sandy beach desert type area. And let me see here. But yeah, there's like it's a really good place to like shop if you're like chilling. There's like lots of imports, goods. It's probably even better than Storm Home.
Okay.
Boom, boom. But yeah, just a lot of different stores. If you can think of something, it's there. There's even a gem store, which was like kind of hidden in what's it called, but it's not here. Like it's definitely a place you can go to. Boom. But yeah, he has a mansion. Basically, there's like this communal fountain in one neck of the this city, where people basically go to like this. I want to call it a park, but that's not the section of the city has a fountain that people go to that's communal, but he has a mansion. It's the only building in this like part of the city.
Okay.
Looking around everything there. Yeah, lots of people walking around. Basically a fountain in the middle. Once you get into the actual building, there is like a gold metal gate. You're starting to realize how materialistic this guy is on his time off, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, walking in, he just has lots of like fineries, goods. Some of the things you can tell he just like bought walking through the city, and other ones are like from going out and finding things. But yeah, it's pretty much a big mansion that has like a bunch of trophies and like ornaments, but it's not really something that's necessarily lived in, if that makes sense. And he's all, yeah, this is pretty much to entertain guests when I'm here. Make yourselves at home.
Okay. Thank you. So, when I was with Ezra earlier, because he was the one who said he knew the sorcerer that could replace memories.
Oh, yes.
So where would that be? Let's say like I asked
Yeah,
Ezra
he's like, oh, there's a family who practices that like memory magic in Goodfell.
Okay. Is this like that?
Yes, it is
in
connected.
The other campaigns?
Well, it is connected, but it's not the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just set up camp there, and I'm gonna use my my glass ball or whatever to check on Helena once a day.
Oh, your crystal. Yeah, you can use the crystal ball to like kind of keep tabs on it. Are you leaving Arya in Helena?
No. I'm gonna say I took all of the sisters with me.
Okay. What about Arya's family and stuff?
They'll all be there.
Okay. Cool. Couple other things that stick out in the city, just so you know. There is a very large cathedral, and it's like a very large cathedral, and a basically like guards training facility. So there's a place where like guards are like actually being trained very well.
Okay.
But yeah, as you check on Helena, I'm going to roll to see how this looks. 10, 14. Yeah, you check for, I want to say about 2 weeks, and Helena seems relatively undisturbed by what's going on. Is there anything you want to do in that time?
No.
Or are we just going to jump? Do you want to just do like a couple months jump here?
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Helena seems pretty, like, if you check every day within these couple months, Helena is relatively undisturbed. There isn't one day where you have a scare with that same Inquisitor from the ship coming and looking for things, but let me I'm gonna roll Arcana here. Tell me your Arcana.
+3.
Okay, so you got a 19 on this roll. So I'm gonna say you decided to use your crystal ball one day and you got word that he was there. The next day you used it again just at the right time, and he's actually was going through your old house. And he's kind of muttering to himself as he's going through things. He's like, obviously they're all gone. It's been ransacked. Like, he says ransacked very loosely. Like, he's like, they obviously took things that were in certain places. Like, he notices the chest is gone from your aunt's room. He notices there's, like, certain clothes taken to go live in this other place, right? And he's like, And he's like, basically, he has a little, what would I call it? It's like a bracelet that has a sapphire in the middle, and it's silvery around it. Basically, it's a silver bracelet with a sapphire in the middle. And you can tell he, like, keeps fiddling with it. With that high Arcana check, I'm going to use that same Arcana check. You can tell that, like, this is a magical item he's using to, like, detect magical things around him.
Okay.
So he's, like, scanning everywhere, and there are magical things all over the place. Like, he finds a teleportation circle. He's finding tons of components that your mom would use for spells and things like that. But he's mostly finding traces of old magical things that were there. But he's pretty much like, you can kind of see the discouragement on his face where he's like, yeah, I'm here too late type of a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, on to the next lead. And, yeah, the Inquisitor has visited Helena in this past couple of months. But after a little while, Harold is like, we have a new fresh body. And he, like, pulls this body out for you to look at. Ezra's body's, it's a great looking body.
Great looking body.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm assuming we moved his laboratory into this mansion as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a teleportation circle in this?
So there is not
mansion?
a teleportation circle in the mansion, but there are teleportation. Basically, you can pay to use the teleportation circle in the square.
I don't want to pay to use a teleportation circle.
Yeah. There's not one in the building, though. Mm-mm. Yeah, there's a guy named Jack who has a lot of, like, magical components that he sells. And then, yeah, he's got, like, a bunch of... this guy, Jack, yeah, he just has a bunch of components he sells, and you know that he has a teleportation circle in his store.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna get through a city with a dead body.
That's true. You could keep it in the pot.
Okay. We'll keep it in the pot.
Okay.
And take it with us.
Cool. So I'm assuming you have, like, a cart that you use to, like, move everything to.
Yeah.
To the square. It's like a hand cart just to carry everything, like, through the city, like, to the dock. But he kind of has at his mansion already.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So me and... I'm gonna say... just the 3 sisters are gonna go to Goodfeld.
Okay. So, you, Jeanette, and Tulane?
And Arya.
And Arya, okay. Sorry, when you say the 3, I was, like, counting you as that, too, but, I got you. You guys teleport to this city.
Okay. So we're gonna go to...
So if you talked to, Ezra about it, he would tell you that the family who, like, studies this magic is the Amari family.
Okay. So we ask around for the Amari family, just where to go.
Okay. And you actually do find there's a halfling. It's a mixed family. It's like the halfling elf type thing going on, except for you can tell there's elves and halfling there.
Okay.
But they have, like, a pretty, like, nice establishment where you walk to this house where you can tell they study, and it's definitely, like, kind of a place that specializes in teaching enchantment magic.
Okay. So we go there.
Okay.
And I don't know who we need to talk to.
Yeah, so you go in there, and there is a lady named Susie Amari there.
Susie Amari.
Yeah. But she's like, how can it? She's like, so you want me to put new memories into this body?
Yes.
She's like, and what are the memories?
I need it to be that they killed my family, and then he came to me and confessed, and I killed him.
She's like, okay, I want you to focus on what this memory is and make it up in your head right now.
Okay.
And she, like, puts her hand out, and she has, like, it looks like she has, like, a glove that, it's basically a leather glove that has, like, a couple of, like, studs on it, but she pulls a, like, memory strand out of your head. And she, like, puts it into her own head. She's like, okay. And she, like, pulls it back out. She's like, does this look good to you? And she, like, puts it back into your head. So I want you to roll... Oh, gosh. How would you make a memory, like an artificial memory, using stats here? I want you to... Yeah, I guess performance. Performance works. That's like creativity, right? We've been doing a lot of performance rolls tonight.
I know.
Let's see here. So I rolled a 9.
So 12.
12. You look at it, and like it's a memory. Like you think it could work, but it's not. It's not necessarily perfect, if that makes sense.
Okay. So can I say like, let's make like a few modifications, and I'll give it back to you. Is that okay?
And the girl's like, okay, I want you. She's like, they're supposed to have like French accents. I'm doing this wrong. Is French the right word? I think so. She's like, okay. She's like, okay, I want you to put. I'm going to. You just saw the memory, so go ahead and make up a memory again, and I will put out your head, and we will check again.
Okay.
So you think about this memory really hard, and she's like, tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Okay.
She puts her hand out to pull the strand out of your head again. I'm going to roll another performance for you. 15 this time.
So 18.
18. So she puts it into your head. This one looks pretty good. This one, the other one was a little fuzzy. Like some details just weren't there. But what does this memory look like?
So the memory shows him like murdering my family. Like he shot them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then he comes to me and is like, your family was murdered, like will you take them to here with me, like just like to honor them, whatever. And I say, okay, like yeah, I'll come with you, like I'd like to spend time with them. Okay. And then on our way out of it, like we go our separate ways, and he like does all of that stuff that he did in between. And then he comes to me a few months later and just says, like, I have to confess to you, like, I was the one that murdered your family. I need, like, it was my job. It was what I was there to do. Mm-hmm. And so I, like, basically, like, just destroy him with, like, lightning.
Electrocute him?
Kill him. Yeah, and kill him.
Okay. So you see this girl you see Susie start to, like, weave things. She's like, I'm making the memories work. I'm making the memories work. Like, you know, she's like saying stuff to herself, and like this magic like it's not a magic glove, it's just like her spell focus, but she's using this glove to like imprint this memory. She's like, okay. She's like, we're going to need to shock his body with lightning so that the story looks good.
Okay. So I shock him with lightning.
Okay. His body looks like it got electrocuted to death. Well, let's do another performance roll, I guess. 9?
12?
No, I'm saying you, because it's a +3 on your performance, right?
Oh.
So I rolled a 6.
Does it look like he was electrocuted to death?
Yeah, well, like, he's got electric sparks on him and stuff. If the other sisters are there, I'm going to say if you show them the memory too, they, like, can chip in and do, like, a help action to kind of, like, be like, okay, we need to do it here too. So, I'm rolling with advantage here. Which I keep rolling a 6. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. That's creepy. Okay. But yeah, they're, like, trying to help you. 6. Yeah. That was weird. They're like trying to help you like figure out how to make this body look like it's been electrified enough, you know, but it kind of keeps like whatever the problem is, you guys can't quite put your finger on it. It's just feeling a little weird. But yeah. And then this girl Susie's like, maybe we'll like just look at the body like this. You see how it looks now. We'll take the memory that we just put in there. We'll alter it again, but it will be this body this time.
Okay.
Okay. So she alters that memory and like kind of puts it together. She's like, okay, I think the body is I think this project will be a success. I would like to know if it works out, if you don't mind coming back and visiting me. But
I'll let you know how it works.
She's like, thank you.
If I hear.
She's like, yes, I love doing my memory charms. But yeah, the body looks right, and the memory's been implanted in there. So basically, you put a memory of his death in there. Is there any memories you wanted to remove from the body?
I want to remove him cutting out his skin.
So she's like, okay, I will find the memory of him cutting out his skin. She like, you see her like going through. Basically, she's like, this is the hippocampus. This is how we figure out what the memory. She's like explaining how the brain works, basically.
This is the hippocampus.
But she ends up pulling the memories out of this part of the brain, and she's like, okay.
And like any memories of us making like any sort of plans together about this.
Okay, no plans. She's pulling things out and showing you. So she shows you the memory of you guys basically talking about taking the brothers away, the memory of you guys making the bodies in the first place, the memory of him teleporting, things like that.
Okay.
But she feels like, let's see how thorough you guys feel like you guys have been. Natural one, we re-roll those with you. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to do an Arcana check. What's your Arcana?
+3.
+3. Okay, that's a 21 because I rolled an 18. So you go through this pretty thoroughly. You have a good understanding how this magic is working. This Susie lady is a very good teacher when it comes to this stuff. So you like caught on really quick to how it kind of works and what you can do with it. And you feel like you've done a pretty good job at getting those memories out of this body.
Okay. And also, like, any memories of, like... Oh, never mind. They already know where Helena is, so...
Yeah. But yes. You have a body that has implanted memories, and all the memories that you don't want in there out.
Cool. Okay. So, we take this body to Vanth.
You're taking it to Vanth. Okay. So you teleport to Vanth. And Vanth has... he's like, I will take it. He's like, I have enough clothes to dress him, make him look like himself. I guess we don't necessarily need those. He's like, either way, I'm gonna... you can tell him, like, kind of looking at this body is, like, hurting him a little bit. He's like, whew, okay. I'm gonna say, I know he's not really dead. He's like, I know he's not really dead, but whew, okay. Freaks me out.
So, I'm just gonna say, like, so, basically, like, I brought the body to you because I know how important he was and explained to him the situation. And told him to bring the body to wherever.
Okay.
To prove that he killed my family.
He's like, Vanth is all, I will take care. He's like, I think I can take care of it. And then he says, I will let you know if you want to go ahead and go back to the mansion. I will let you know if anything's weird. He's like, if you don't hear from me for... He comes up with like a number off the top of his head. He's like, let's say if you don't hear from me for 2 months, that's a problem. If you do, you're good.
Okay.
But he goes off. You go back to the mansion. Literally, I want to say 3 weeks later, you hear from him. He's like, well, he comes to the mansion. He's like, He's like, I delivered the body. I think we should be good. If you guys did your plan correctly. I don't think they'll be looking for him. He's like, I also purchased this necklace here. And he, like, hands it to you. He's like, this necklace will keep people from being scryed on or watched from other sources. So if you would give this to oh
Ezra?
gosh, give it to Ezra. I would deeply appreciate it. He's like,
I will do that.
Yes, I think that'll keep him safe, hopefully.
I think so. All right.
But yeah, you have a necklace to give to Ezra now.
Okay. So, I go back down to the other dimension.
Okay.
And give the necklace to Ezra and tell him it's safe to come out. And I ask the witch to send a message to my mom again in the ethereal plane.
Okay.
To tell her it's safe to come home.
Cool. Everything happens. Ezra gets his necklace. He's like, thank goodness. And he, like, puts it on. He's like, I knew Vanth would come through for me. He's like, and you as well. That was a crazy plan that we did there. As your mom and aunt come back, or what, you're gonna respond? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well, your brothers are waiting for you. They're with Vanth. Yeah, like, I'm glad we could help each other out here.
He's like, if you ever need help tracking someone down, I guess tell Vanth.
Will do. I can't spry on you anymore, so.
He's like, it's not like he was scrying on me often. And he, like, winks a little bit. Like, he's just being silly. He's like, but if you do need me, ask Vanth.
Will do.
He's like, I'm indebted.
Okay.
And he, like, goes off. I guess, or he goes to Vanth. Are you moving everything back to Helena?
I don't know what we're doing. I'm gonna say that, like, they all came back to Vanth's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna ask my mom, be like, do you think that it's safe to return to Helena?
Let's see what she thinks. She said, she's like, I like Helena, but I don't think we should go there anymore. Especially them knowing about it. I mean, who's to say they don't go back looking and then we're just there, or, you know, they need to double check. She's like, we were there to hide and it's not hidden anymore.
Okay, so I asked Vanth, like, is it okay if we stay here until we figure out where we're gonna go?
Yeah, when you talk to Vanth, Vanth is basically like, he's like, I literally don't use the mansion. He's like, I host parties there, like, once in a blue moon. He's like, I host parties there once in a blue moon. It's fine. You guys can stay as long as you want. He's like, you guys can stay here. I'll just let you know when I'm coming back, or if I need you gone.
Okay.
He's like, but you're good to be here for us. Basically, as long as you need. I'm pretty much going to be at sea. Probably till I die.
Probably till I die. Okay.
He's like, my ship is my home. He like gets up. But yeah, is there anything specific you want to do at the mansion, or take from Helena to the mansion, rather?
Well, I guess we need to get the Darkstone.
So there's the Darkstone, but there's like a bunch of other stuff in the house as well, I would say. You know, like obviously you're going to take the Darkstone, but
we need to put it in another hole.
I mean, you could probably ask the witch to help you. I hate that I forgot her name. It's driving me nuts.
I know. I'm like
on my phone. But I'll find it for next time.
Okay.
Boom, boom. But yeah, we can say you moved the Darkstone. Like, all your normal belongings, things you guys used, we'll say you moved as well. But yeah, you are now relocated to Queens, which I did not anticipate doing today, but that's fine. Do you want to make
What did you think we were going to be?
I don't know. I thought you guys were just going to fight in the water, and then we'd go to the next episode and fight in the water again, maybe. Or do more diplomatic stuff at the embassy. But, let's do an investigation check to see what, or I guess, basically you move to a new place, and so it's like, do we want to figure out what's going on there? Do you want to get to know people? What are we doing here?
I don't think we should. I think we should kind of keep our heads low for a little bit.
Okay. You keep to yourselves then?
Because there is like a guard facility there too, so.
Yeah, that's true. Boom, boom. A guard training place. And to be clear, these are like independent guards from like the kingdom. So these are like guards that this city trains just to take care of like all of the needs as far as they have a lot of goods and a lot of shops. And so they have a lot of security.
Yeah.
But
I just don't want to risk anyone like being able to recognize us recognize like my mom and my aunt if they were to be like asked about it.
Okay.
So.
Boom, boom. All right. Well, you have a bunch of downtime, and I guess you're not in Helena anymore.
That makes me so sad.
I know, that makes me sad too.
Like, maybe we can go back after a few years, but...
Yeah. Did you want to say goodbye to anybody in Helena?
We'll say goodbye to, like, Arya's family, and...
Okay. So you, like, go to that. Arya's, is Arya moving with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you say bye to Arya's family, and the dad's like, I always knew you'd grow up and get out of this town.
This is so sad.
He's like, you grow up so fast, Arya. Oh. But I hope that you find much success and enjoy your powers. You are a gifted one. And her mom, like, talks to her. Mom's like, she's like, she's like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you guys are gonna do such cool things. You know? Anybody else you want to see in the town? I'm sorry.
We'll go say goodbye to, like, all of the pixies at the little...
Oh, I got you. That's right.
Yeah.
So you go and say goodbye to them, and the ones that have, like, the speed, the fast, flying now are like, What? Who's gonna come and like stop us when we get into trouble now? Oh, I gotta do it high. Who's gonna come and stop us when we get into trouble now?
Like, you guys, it's gonna be up to you guys to protect this town now. Do you think you can handle that?
One of them's like, oh God, we're gonna screw up, and the other one's like, no, we're gonna do fine. We're gonna take care of the town. The town's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be legit. The other one's like, oh, we're screwed. Basically, like, one of them's just like, if we're in charge, we're in terrible hands, and the other one's the one who's like stubborn. It's like, no, it's gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna be fine. And they're like, oh no, like type of a thing. So, like, but one of them's like, okay, we got like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to protect everyone. We'll keep eyes out. We can fly faster than anyone. Oh gosh, like you definitely can feel the anxiety that some of them have. But yeah.
Okay.
Boom. What are you gonna do for your downtime?
I don't know. Because usually I work in the inn. I guess I can go, like, find a job in town or something.
Yeah, so there is like a large cathedral in town, which basically acts as a giant library. There are tons of books in this place, so if you wanted to like learn things or get a new proficiency, that type of stuff, you can go there and like at least try to do that for a while. If you want to, there, like I said, this place has anything you want, really. Like, it has a lot of just a lot of shops, things like that. And you're on the water, so you can go fishing.
Okay. So, like, I'll go fishing, like, in the mornings, and then, like, if I can, like, work in the library and learn at the same time, that'd be cool.
Okay. So the library is actually, it's like a religious, so it's a cathedral. It's like a religious place, but it's basically a place where people go to learn about different types of religion a lot of the time. So, basically, it's not a cathedral to just any one god, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, tons of books, tons of learning in there. There are like different sealed parts of the library if you like look around it for a little bit. But trying to get a job there, you meet a man. What is his name? I have it here.
Did you get your computer to work?
Yes, I did. His name is Phil.
Bill?
Phil. Like Dr. Phil?
Phil? Of the future?
Yeah. His name is Phil.
Okay.
Yeah, basically this guy like goes out and he looks at the sea every once in a while, but he's always wearing like different types of vestments because he like basically he fancies himself a scholar of every religion rather than like a worshiper of just one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you ask him for a job, how would you approach him about that?
Say, I was wondering if I could work in the cathedral, and because I'd love to learn more about all of the religions, and to be able to spend a lot of time in the library would mean a lot to me.
He's like, well, I'm gonna have you do a persuasion check real quick. Boom. Gosh. 13.
16.
16? Okay. And then he would get... Okay. As you talk to him, he's like, well, as you can see, this is a very large cathedral. And he, like, as he says that, there's like an echo that goes through the place. He's like, and I actually would need some help lighting torches every morning throughout the whole thing, and then at night putting them out. He's like, and I would gladly pay you for both of those, and then between that time you would have free reign over the open sections of the library.
Okay.
He's like, is there any particular thing you would like to learn about, or a section you would want me to direct you towards, or subject? You just see his eyes light up when he talks about these things.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about any of this stuff.
He's like, oh! He's like, well, I could teach you the basics of faith, religion. He's like, also, we fancy ourselves. We have so much knowledge here. But yes, basically, I'm gonna have you roll. I don't know what lighting torches and putting them out would be. Probably another performance roll. And then if there's a certain proficiency you want to start working on, we can start working on it for you to learn as well.
I don't know.
Just a proficiency you don't have. I'll say you can learn anything from the wisdom or intelligence.
Let's do... Let's do wisdom.
Okay, what proficiency under wisdom? But yeah, Phil's kind of going...
Perception?
What is perception? Okay,
yeah.
He's like... Yeah, Phil, like, kind of, like... I guess if as he shows you how to light and where all of the torches are, basically, to light and turn off, he talks to you about... He's basically like... The first thing I would suggest is opening one's consciousness and being able to recognize patterns and different... I'm using the wrong voice for Phil. The ability to recognize patterns and see things that other people cannot pick up in a text is something of great importance. And he starts to show you different texts on basically not just critical thinking, but just stories that make you use your lateral thinking and things like that. So just stories that teach you to think a different way. And we will say you are starting to learn you're starting to learn how to get proficient in perception. I won't say you have it for next time, but I'll have to check the rules for that. And then we can decide how long it takes. But you are working on that, and you are also doing wages, so let's roll a performance for you. 11 plus 3? 14. You're doing a pretty good job. It's not a super hard job. You're lighting the torches every day, putting them out, and Phil is pretty appreciative of it. And he's giving you pretty good wages. So let me look at these wages here. Boom, boom. Skilled labor. Okay, so he's giving you probably 2 silver pieces a day for doing this.
Okay.
And we'll say that for the next couple weeks, you're just getting your knowledge and doing your stuff. I don't really have much planned beyond that, if I'm being honest. So, if there's anything you want to do, we can do that. But, yeah. Whatever you want to do.
I think that's good for tonight.
Yeah. I can do basically, if you're working with Phil, you can hear things about what's going on in Queens if you want to right now, and then we can set up something for next week. But or I can just spring it on you next week.
Yeah, you can just spring it on me next week.
Okay, that sounds fine to me. But yeah, holy cow, you moved. I didn't expect that, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. I didn't know what we were doing this week, so...
Yeah, it does kind of make me sad that you guys aren't in Helen anymore.
It makes me so sad that
I was
we're
like,
not
oh
in
no! Like, it hurts my heart. But it's good. Like, I don't know. You guys moved for a good reason, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have any, like, also, do you have any, when you move the Darkstone over there, where are you putting it? So this place doesn't necessarily have a basement like your other house, because it's, like, right on the water. It does have, like, a side, I want to say, for lack of a better term, it would be called a, like, it's like a garage, but it's not a garage, you know what I mean? It's like a workshop on the side of the house, but I don't know.
We'll put it in, like, the top floor of the mansion.
Okay.
In, like, a room.
And is it just, like, the centerpiece of the room?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good to me. We can say you got, well, I guess we can, like, say that you went and got the guy to ward it again. Ward the room. If we want to. I won't make, like, a big thing of that so that we don't have to focus on it next week, but, yeah. What's his name? Oh, no. Whatever.
Starts with a G.
The what? Good.
It starts with a G.
Starts with a G. Gimel Clerk.
Gimel.
Yeah. Gimel Clerk comes and wards it again. And if you have what's his name with you, you definitely have the funds, so.
Yeah. Harold?
Harold, yes.
Harold ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, Harold will stick around for a while. Also, if you guys are there for a while, Harold does have the time to grow his own body.
Well, he started growing it at the same time we grew Ezra's, so I assume.
So he has his body now. So let me figure out how Harold looks real quick. When his body emerges from this, the man you see is actually bald with like a what's the word? So it's like a black beard that's graying. Is the type of beard that what's his name has? Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I'm getting all my names mixed up. Harold. So Harold is a bald man with a black beard that is graying. And he's actually pretty tall. Now that he can wear clothes, like actual normal clothes, he wears a red robe that has a couple of satchel. It looks like they should be satchels, but they hold books. So he has books always hanging at his left side. And a couple of... On his back, he keeps a couple of scroll holders, basically. And he has a staff with a red gem at the top that he's gotten for himself. But yeah, with his bot, and he actually has a pretty big, like, burly, like, chest, but he's, like, oddly fit like, you would, I want to say you would assume that Harold wasn't a very fit guy, but he's pretty fit, like, once you see his, like, body. Maybe he just sculpted it to look that way, who knows?
He just made it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, he actually looks rather respectable. And he keeps a lot of magical equipment on him. But he's like, yes, the Atlas is quite my favorite book to be having around me. I can, teleport in quite a lot of places. But anyway, Harold has his body now, and you guys are in Queens. Boom, boom. But I guess we can end it.
That makes me so sad.
I know. I guess we can end it there, though. Yeah. Thanks for watching. We moved. And yeah, we will what do I normally say? We go live every Tuesday, 7:00 Mountain Standard Time here on TikTok, and then we post those videos the following Monday. So if you missed out on anything today and you felt interested, you can go back and check that out at my YouTube page, which I actually have posted under my Instagram button on my profile. So yeah, like I said, thanks for watching and peace out.
Peace.